How have Tiago and Gigi and Luis looked since they returned from international duty?
Very good, very good. Highly motivated, the three of them. So, yeah, they're ready to go.
Physically, everything's good.
Everything's good.
What's the probability that we're going to see as many of the homegrowns on Saturday as we saw on Wednesday?
Well, some of them might be. I mean, Ajani, he went back to Trinidad, so he might be out. The rest, they have big chances.
We saw Luke wasn't training today with the first
Yeah,
team?
no, he came back to the second team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is it about this team that I think I counted up the other day? You scored 10 goals in like the 86th minute or later this season. You've also allowed 8 goals in the 98th minute or later. What is it about this team that's both scoring and giving up a lot of goals late in games?
Well, I don't know what to say. I would like to say that on scoring goals late, that means that we never give up. Mm-hmm. We are always till the end, fighting, competing. And then I think the goals we have considered is more about lapses or, individual mistakes that we have made in the last minutes that, of course, we need to fix. But it's more also the first couple, the goals in the first minutes of the game. That's what worries me the most, because it's almost like starting the game with the wrong foot, mm-hmm. and the narrative of the rest of the game is very different. So if we can solidify that and just enter into the game, and then I think normally we gain some rhythm in the first few minutes, and then we can be dangerous. So the way the game is played can be different if we stop conceding those goals at the beginning of the games.
A different manager for Red Bulls. What's changed for them since the last time you saw?
Well, similar tendencies. Probably, they've been a little bit more looking for possession in certain moments rather than just direct plays. So I can see they are working in some things. Shape, probably the same. A couple games they play back five, but normally it's 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, depends on who plays. We know Talking won't be there, so probably Duncan will play on the left. And then a couple absences they have also due to injuries. But a team that is always competitive, always fights, always is willing to press very aggressively. So we are ready to respond to that.
How do you present enough options for the center backs in particular in build-up? It seems at times Franco gets marked out and there's maybe not enough choices available for the center backs.
Yes, at times it's difficult, and many times we work a lot on giving them options, actually. We're always trying to work different situations, depends on the opponents as well. But I think one that we've been playing around is with a single pivot, double pivot. I think that if we are able to, understand when we can play more double pivot and from there create a problem for the 10, and then if a midfielder jumps on one of those midfielders, then there's gaps in between the lines. So if we can understand those, but yeah, we understand we're a team that normally opponents try to block the middle, try to block the options through the middle, because also we have Thiago, we have Yaku, we have players in between the lines that are normally talented to receive turn. So then we need to find options and rotations, and yeah, at times it works better, at times probably not, but overall I think the players have options.
Is single pivot, double pivot something you can adjust in game, potentially?
Yes, and it's something fluid. Again, I don't have a joystick, to move the players and tell them exactly where to be in each situation, because they have to read the game and adjust every time. Like the last game, for example, because of the type of pressing they were doing, we start to adjust certain things, and at some moment we start to build with 3, and they figure it out at some moments because they had 2 forwards up front pressing, and then it was difficult to play through the middle. So then the back 3 allows you to kind of progress better the ball and break the first line with one of the center backs, and then they have to recognize those moments and how we create superiorities, right? Whether it's numerical, positional, or qualitative advantage, you have to create those, and it's fluid. So throughout the game, they have to figure it out when it's double pivot, when it's 2 players in the pockets, when it's a box in the pocket, and who can attack those spaces. I think that's a game.
Noah and Jay both made their second starts in the game, and I was talking to Noah afterwards, and he just talked about how you have a different kind of confidence when you play your second game as opposed to your first. I wanted to just kind of get your perspective on that, maybe reflect back to your own playing days and just the difference you felt playing in your second game versus your first.
Yes, I think, of course, it was way more positive, the performances of everyone, not just those two, but everyone. Even Tyler is the first start, I think, and it was very good. And they have the advantage that at times in Mexico you don't have. Like they've been playing also with the second team. And that gives you rhythm, that gives you, especially for center backs, if you're specific with Noah, the distance, the angles, and that is just, it takes time. So we're very happy with the performances overall. Little things, of course, to improve, but much better compared to last time.
Did you sense with all these young players coming into the team that there was a certain amount of cohesiveness just because of the style of play that they played together kind of through the ranks, coming through the academy and all the way through?
Probably. I mean, when you look at the last 3 touches in each goal, is 5 academy players going through there. So the first one, it was Tyler passing to Caleb to Ajani, and then from that ball is the goal from Tyler. And then the last one is Macho passing to Brooks, and then Firmino. So it's kind of young players impacting in those goals, and there was some cohesion, yes, but it's also their willingness to do things, and that is what the academy, the homegrowns, they have is, again, they have the passion, and that's why they did very well. We're very proud of that. There are certain numbers and stats that I really like 8 goals for homegrowns this year is more than the rest of the seasons for the whole Atlanta United history. So it's impressive what they are doing, and I think the narrative is more about 6 years of Atlanta United working very well in academies. So since the old days, I can see the progression. Many of these kids start day one in the academies, and now we're seeing all the fruits of that good job they've been doing in the academies, the coaches, Matt, everyone, Tony. So I think now we are having a very good generation of players that can impact in any way, and we're very happy with what we have.
And one more, Brooks was saying after the game that you had told the team that it was one of their best weeks of training coming into it, and I guess part of that is because you have all these young players and they have that kind of competitive spirit to get into the team. Can you just kind of talk about what you saw there?
Yes, I think it was very good for many different reasons. One, we're coming back from 5 days off, and at times you expect the first day is just kind of slow. Not at all. It was full intensity since day one. We were actually surprised at that. The quality was pretty high, and so we're expecting a similar performance, probably aside from the mistakes on the back. But we deny clear chances to New York City throughout the game. We only allowed three shots. And on the other hand, I think we were mostly in the final third in some moments with some space, some clear chances that we missed, but it was a positive performance aside from the result.
When you're facing a team that's going to press like Red Bulls are expected to, when you start to figure out the lineup, is it more about experience or is it more about chemistry that might help deal with what they're going to see?
It's about playing good football. Against teams that press you, you have to play good. If you are only thinking about fighting and competing, of course that's going to be important. But to me, is you have to play good, and that's the way we know, and that's how we are going to approach this game. Is trying to play good with what we have. I think we have a good enough team to go there and try to have a victory for first time in Atlanta United's history. Mm-hmm. That's one of the goals I tagged to the players. And yeah, we want to go for it. But again, experience, yes, youth, passion, all that. I think at the end of the day, and I told them this before, like the ball doesn't know the age of who's kicking it. And, it doesn't matter if it is Brad Guzan or Rossi Alonso, or it is Noah and Caleb. Like the ball responds to how good you treat it and how your decisions are on the ball. So you have to have just good footballers, and hopefully we can play good.
Just trying to decipher if it might be Juanjo and Noah again because he just played for consistency, or Luis because he has more experience and has seen this before.
Okay, Saturday around 6:39, you will get that answer.
And y'all are unbeaten in 7, but you have 5 draws. Just any concerns about the drop points, especially in terms of the playoff race?
Yes, I mean, in an ideal world, you would like to transform a few of those ties in victories, of course, those at least 2, for example. Toronto's game away, I think we were lost 2 points there. Even New York City away was another one at home. That one against New England. So if you talk about maybe 4 more points where we would be in the standings, and probably third, fourth. So yes, of course, ideally, you would like to have a couple more on the other side. We also earn a couple points at the end of certain games that maybe we would have tied, right? San Jose, stuff like that. So both ways, always have to read both ways. But overall, I like the mantra of we haven't lost that many games. And overall, we've been competitive and tough to beat. And that's important to create that reputation around the league that, especially at home, we're very tough to beat. And if someone wants to come home and trying to earn 3 points, it's going to be very, very difficult. But on the other side, I think not many teams had been collecting a tie in, for example, in LAFC, a very difficult place to play, and I think also only 2 teams at this point where the rest of the games they've been winning. So that spirits of being tough to beat and competitive and not losing many games, that's important as well. When you go and you look at playoffs, that's what it's about. It's about being tough to beat, and then in some moments in playoffs you can earn the victory out of a magical moment, but then you have to be tough to defend and to know how to do all the other duties that at times in playoffs is very important. So I like that part, but hopefully we can start to catch up a couple more victories, especially on the road. I think it's been only one, right, against Charlotte. So we need to catch up a couple more victories, and I think we're going to be better on the standings.
How difficult is a week like this on short rest, but also playing 2 very different kinds of opponents, different styles?
Yes, difficult in the sense that also players coming in and players leaving out, and it's not easy in that sense. But I think one of the best parts of last week's training session is that the principles that we work apply for both teams. So certain things that we did against New York City are going to apply the same against New York Red Bulls. So I think the team is prepared, and at times, you don't have too much time also to complain or to review. It's just another chance to bring the energy in, and I think we're going to be fine. I think the team is ready to fight, ready to play good, and we're going to be fine. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much.